Hello everybody, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and as I can see, I've got the microphone out for a video on this channel. I just wanted to test this out to see how it is on this channel as well. Still don't know if you're picking up anything to do with the microphone or stuff like that. Maybe I'm doing it right, I just haven't noticed it yet. But I do like how colourful and bright it is, so why not want to use something like this, right? It's still a test for now until I learn how to actually figure this out, but it's good to make a video and use this at the same time, you know, make use of it. It was given to me as a birthday present, I said, in my third Frankie'S channel, which is called Other Stuff. So yes, I'm going to get into it. We edged past Chelsea in that 5-week encounter, and wow, that was a reaction from us, especially from the first half though. I did expect us to play similar to that, but I didn't expect us to get more than one goal at least. We just started like a house on fire. Let's get that straight. That was no fluke. We started like a house on fire. It's not like Chelsea were, you know, dominating for periods of that first half and we just nicked goals. We actually deserved it. We should have scored within like the first 3-4 minutes. Was it from I think Matswari with a header and the goalkeeper saves it. I think we had another moment somewhere, and then we just had a through ball. I don't know, and Bremer went through. I don't know who it was that had that headed the ball onto him. It's difficult watching these matches on stream because you just don't know who is who most of the time unless you see the faces. That's really the issue I have. But yeah, and Bremer goes through on goal. Sanchez just brings him down, and it's a certain red card. I didn't get too happy. In my mind, I was thinking mostly of the Lyon match. Because I was like, yeah, this is too easy. If, you know, especially this early on, some bull crap is about to happen. But we had to score. I wasn't scared that we won't score. It's just how many we were going to get. And then we got the goal from Fernandes. I think it was Diallo or Shaw, whoever it was, with an assist. And Fernandes puts it into the net for 1-0. I mean, there was no doubt he was going to score. He usually scores with us anyway. I thought he was offside. Looked on the replay and I was like, oh, the Chelsea defender, whoever it was, you know, foot is putting him onside. Of course, Fernandes had to be onside if that's the case, because that foot's playing him on. So technically the player played him onside. I thought it was offside at first, but that covered it up. And yeah, so, you know, we dominated the match, you know, from there. We did have a free kick though before that where I thought Fernandes' free kicks were a bit disappointing tonight. Apart from the goal, he could have done better with the free kicks because he did hit one into the wall when after that keeper got sent off. Mbeumo puts it over. I thought Mbeumo was brilliant tonight. I thought his play and hold-up play was just brilliant. He just needs the goals. That's all he needs. You know, that's the only criticism I got for the dude, but he's an exciting player to watch. And then comes the second goal. Brilliant. And I got to say, sure, what a great assist. I mean, I'm not sure if it was exactly his header that actually put it down for Casemiro's headed goal. Brilliant assist. Whilst everyone else was falling asleep, Shaw goes right in there, heads it down, and it goes to Casemiro with one of his headers, which makes it 2-0. And I was just like, still, Chelsea could get a goal, and it could be at the Lyon game where they probably make an incredible comeback. Nearly turned out that way. I'll get into that part soon. And so there's another part as well. We could have made it a third goal. I think there was probably a shot went wide somewhere. We did have a goal that was ruled out, but it went out, you know, out of play for a goal kick. So yeah, that wasn't going to be, given anyway. And then we had then there was corners. The corners for me wasn't that powerful. I don't remember us doing that much of corners. We did have one corner. I can't remember what the corner was like, but I think Chelsea defenders just headed it away. We did have a moment where we could have made it 3 somewhere, but we just kept messing about in the penalty box. Too many passes, overplaying just a bit. The passing could have been a bit better in the final third, but you know what? We got the 2 goals. And then Casemiro, before half time. So annoyed. That actually annoyed me because I knew as soon as he got the second yellow, I just knew Chelsea were going to get confidence because that evens up the game. That evens it up. You can't say, oh, Chelsea are going to have a good comeback with 10 men because we both went down to 10 men. That annoyed me. Why would he make something so... Why did he make a ridiculous, stupid challenge? He got his second goal. He didn't have to do that. He wasn't going anywhere. His defense his defense probably would be, well, I showed a bit of strength and I got the ball. Yeah, but that's a foul any day on the pitch. Annoying, I got to say the least. Chelsea were begging for a penalty. Luckily, one of our defenders got there on time and poked the ball away, just so they couldn't get a penalty. So I thought defending in some of the matches was good. We put so much pressure on them. Shaw was immense after getting that assist. You got Ugarte. I didn't really see much. I didn't see much. Was Sesko on the pitch? I heard he got substituted. Was he on the pitch? Because I didn't notice him. Disappointing at least. There's a good player in him. And then Chelsea had a shot went wide and then they had a cross, which I knew. The game's even. Chelsea have an opportunity. We started the second half not too badly. I think we had a free kick somewhere. Didn't come to anything. We did have one shot from Fernandes. We did have a few odd, like, I think the odd cross which didn't come to anything. I think the Fernandes shot came after, Chelsea got their goal, but I would come to that. Chelsea grew into the game. Their corners, they scored from a corner. The first goal they scored from a corner was ruled offside because I don't know, I've forgotten. Who was it in the box now that was right next to Bayanda, and it was given as offside? I was like, okay, relief there. Chelsea dominated though a little bit. They grew into it. I think we thought, 2-0, we're going to be comfortably cruising this. Never easy. We managed to dog in there. We managed to get good defense, good defending block. Good defensive blocks, good pressure. Excuse me. We managed to some fiery tackles. Bear that in mind too. Cucurella sure got sent off for an elbow as well that the referee didn't really think about. I don't know if he booked him or not. I mean, I don't think he did, because he did book Cucurella in the second half somewhere, a yellow card. He should have done, because I think he put his elbow to De Ligt's neck. I don't know if that will count because it wasn't to his face. That's why they didn't give it. So they should have went that to 9 men really. Fiery tackles though, I can't lie, especially in the second half too. It got a bit heated, especially when Chelsea got their goal, which was deserved, I would say. Well worked goal. From a corner, at least a cross comes in and Chalabar heads it into the corner. They needed, I think they kind of need that goal. It was coming, in the sense of it wasn't going to be a cruise control victory from us. And that kind of showed, to be honest. They didn't really have that many opportunities after that, apart from when we got a block in. I think 2 of our defenders were blocking the ball and making a defensive block there, because they were going to make it 2-2 right there. So you could say we got a bit fortunate. Then we went to the other end. I think Fernandes had that shot which I just described, which got saved. And the passion, it is against Chelsea, so we were entitled to have a celebration somewhere. It's against a team that, well, to be fair, it's against a team that we haven't beaten at Old Trafford, that they haven't beaten. Let me explain this properly. Against a team that hasn't really won the All Ground in 12 years. And so it would be quite fitting. I can't even get some sort of result. I couldn't really see any team winning it. But, Fernandes, that shot. I can't remember any other chances we had in that second half, apart from that one. We just defended it out. I think we may have had a shot that went wide. They did have a few blocks in as well, Chelsea. And the tackles and the passing. Some of the passing was a bit over the top. We got a bit too excited and we got a bit carried away because we're 2 up. And I was just like, you need to get a third. You need to kill this game, because they will kill it off. They will not kill it off, but they will get an equaliser to kill the game off. You could say that, the comeback. That to kill off a 2-goal lead. We could have got a third and it would have killed off them having a comeback. So, yeah, but the tackles, they were fiery. Tackles going in, some tackles were not, some tackles were fouls, other tackles we got the ball. And they got the ball. It was quite fiery. There's a bit of that pushing and shoving. That's how a rivalry should be. All intense, not fiery. But you know what? I'm glad we got the win. I did say a reaction was coming from us. Now I did think we weren't going to win, but I did think we were going to play well and actually score a goal, because we deserved to be clinical somewhere. We finally win again. We were actually be clinical score two goals, or maybe could have been three, and just have a cushion. And after that, we just rolled out, and I got to say, defending immaculate. Cunha came on. Let me tell you, he made an instant impact. Why is this guy not played more regularly from the start? I'll never know. Phenomenal. I don't know why Ben was taken off, maybe to replace Cunha as an attacking sense. But you know what, Amrim, you really have bought good players. They just need to start playing well. This game is a justification of how many goals we should have scored at City. Not necessarily got a result, but how many we should have scored there. And I said this to people. People will laugh at me and say, oh, but they're terrible. United will get relegated. What, with games like that, when we perform like that, we're going to get relegated? Like, come on. This is pathetic and sad banter at this point, isn't it? They don't miss playing us, most of these teams anyway, because we lose most of the games anyway. So, but that's what I mean. We can play like that. Burnley at home is a mislead. It should have been 4-5-2. If we were more like Liverpool, it would have been that score. That's what I am saying. This United team has so much promise. It's like when performances like that happen, it's like, why can we not do that at Grimsby? But we could do that against Chelsea. Is it because we're against a tougher team that we have to perform well? That's probably what it is. I said this so many times. Like, this team have got promise. I mean, at this point I was 1 point behind them, but I said this early on in the season, so anything could practically happen. I feel like we could probably finish top 10, if I'm being honest. If we don't lose the same amount of games we did last season, we probably will fall back in that 15th, 16th spot. But it's nice to see us win and fight for a win. You know what I'm saying? At least fight for it. Even if it's like a scrappy 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. Just take it. You still got to score those goals better, man. That still has to come into it. But you know what? It makes a change. But we don't do things easy. We could be 3 up and concede 2 late goals. That's how nerve-wracking we can be. But at least we get the win on board. Damn it, everybody says we're not going to win any games. Come on. I mean, we had to get a result against a big 6 team, and we have. And we didn't just get a result. We won the game. But that is a result that we got. But you know what I mean. We could have drawn this game tonight. I would have been satisfied. But we took a draw. Fair enough. It is a result against a big 6 team. But we got a win. And Chelsea fans, don't be talking rubbish to us United fans about Old Trafford, right? When you can't even win at Old Trafford. You can't even win there in 12 years. Unless we get you in the FA Cup at Old Trafford and you knock us out, then yeah, that's when you will possibly finally get a win for yourselves there for a change. But I don't hear no smack from Chelsea fans. Like, you can have your talk at the bridge because that's your ground. You can have your talk. But don't be coming to us United fans mocking our ground when you haven't won that exact ground for 12 years. Bear that in mind. You could have results. Look at the results, right? If you forget and you think I'm wrong, you think us United fans are wrong, just take a look. I mean, they must be crying at the moment, laughing at us about Grimsby. I'm pretty sure they were, but they lost to that team that Grimsby knocked out. Shame on you, Chelsea fans. Like, come on. Like, I'm happy, right? To beat any rival team, it's kind of nice. It won't mean anything for the season, but at least it's a win. And we needed that win. So yeah, fantastic. It's good for Amram, I guess. I mean, we'll probably struggle at Brentford now. I wonder which one of our players is likely to score at Brentford. Might need some help with that. Do any of you United fans know who might score at Brentford? In our next game? And we've got Sunderland at home, and we've got the dreaded Anfield away. That I'm not looking forward to, but we need to win the next 2 games. I do not want a draw at any of them. I don't care how good of a form they are in. I do not want a draw in any of those games. A draw at Liverpool I'll take. Another 0-0 I'll take. Any draw over there I will take. Even if Liverpool scrape a last minute equaliser, I'm happy with that. But I would not be happy with the draws in the next 2 games, any of them. And yeah, speaking of other results, Liverpool got yet another win. Early in the season, they've done this before. I know they won the league last season, but they weren't in this type of form necessarily. So yeah, they're not. They had this before. I'm sure they had a season where they were like this, and City win the league. You got, obviously they won the derby, so they won 2-1. Palace 2-1 at West Ham. They're looking good. They deserve to. They're not going to get relegated anytime soon. Wolves 1, Leeds 3. Wolves are in big trouble. I'm telling you that much now. They could get relegated. I did say at some point Wolves will get relegated. I don't know when. I think I said that in one of my videos. It has to be the time to go. You got the. Oh yeah, that's it. You got the other match, Brighton versus Tottenham. Interesting. Brighton 2-0 up, but they did blow that 2-goal lead. So yeah, it always, that's the thing. When you're 2-0 down, you get a goal in half time. That always is crucial because it sparks a comeback. If you don't get that goal and it only ends 2-1 in that game overall and you lost, then it just kind of shows you kind of needed a goal somewhere in the first half. So yeah, I know Brentford is Fulham's playing Brentford now. I don't know what the score is at the moment, but I will check it after I make this video. I think I went through all the matches today anyway. But yeah, the matches are coming up tomorrow. I feel like Arsenal City is a tough one to call because both teams are terrible, can be terrible defensively. I know Arsenal have clean sheets at home, but they're not that great defensively, let's be honest. City should have conceded 2 against us at least, so I think that would tell in the game. I think both defenses are there for the taking. It's hard to pick a winner because they're both evenly matched. I'll go with a 2-2. And you got Sunderland Villa. Probably 2-1 Villa, I guess. It seems like it could be a Villa win there. And you got Bournemouth Newcastle. I don't think Eddie Howe can win at his old club, can he? What, did he beat them? I can't remember if he did. I don't think he did. I've got to try and go back in the results there. That's a tough one because it is at Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will scrape it 2-1. I think on their day at home they are quite tough, so they could spark a win there. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share when you know, subscribe, hit the notification below, as I'll see you in my next video.